So our next speaker will be Louisa. Do we have a title of your speech this evening?
Shop.
Shop will be the title of Louisa's speech. So please join me in welcoming Louisa to that first speech.
Can you see me?
Yes.
We can see your glasses.
Well, I'm going to stand over here because I feel like I'd like to connect with you more. The name of my speech tonight is Shop. And I'll begin by asking, have any of you changed your shopping habits in the last 4 or 5 months?
Yeah.
Many people have because, as you know, we're in a very difficult economic downturn. And a nation of shoppers has suddenly begun to buy piggy banks, maybe for the first time in their entire lives. And it's a very wonderful thing in some ways that many people have finally seen the light and decided that maybe not buying 5 houses or having 4 cars is not really appropriate for their lives. So people are beginning to save. There is a problem, however, and it's called the economy of the paradox of thrift. Have any of you heard of that? Well, the paradox of thrift is that when we all begin to be thrifty, i.e., save money, all the money kind of goes, shall we say, in our houses, and it doesn't stimulate the economy. So when I don't buy from my little gift store in Nob Hill, and you don't, and you don't, and you don't, pretty soon there becomes a paradox. And the paradox is that as we all begin to save, we actually end up hurting the whole economy, including ourselves, because prices will go up and it will become more difficult for everyone. You may remember that after 9/11, George Bush told us to all go out and spend, and that was what we were going to do to, I'm not sure how that was going to help the Taliban, hurt the Taliban, but anyway, I got a lot of questions about some of his recommendations, but we have been told by our previous president that it's important to go out and shop, and I actually, I think with this most current economic downturn, have begun to understand why you might, as a president, ask someone to shop. It's a form of stimulating the economy. But when I first started thinking about what was going on, I got my piggy bank out and I said, boy, this is great. You know, I love to shop. This is my big chance. I can finally say, enough, enough, enough. I need Imelda Marcos of napkins, cloth napkins. I have enough folk art in my house that my house has been on a house tour. So I'm pretty good at shopping. Not just anything, but I like to shop. And I saw this as a moment in time when I would finally control myself and I would start saving. But then I heard about the paradox of thrift. And I began to think about, well, you know, I'm one person. I believe it's important to be a citizen, and maybe I should start shopping. And it sort of made me almost sick at first. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, God, I never thought I was going to feel like it was an imperative as a citizen to shop. So I started thinking about it, and I thought, all right, I'm going to rethink shopping. And I came up with an idea. And what I want to talk to you tonight about is a way to stimulate the economy and be appropriate in the way you do it. And I came up with an acronym called SHOP, S-H-O-P. So as you, first of all, let me back up and say, this is a program for people that do have some money that they can set aside to help stimulate the economy. Some of us can't, and I understand that. I'm lucky. I have enough extra cash that I can have a shop program. So only you can know that, and I personally am sort of setting aside X number of dollars for my shop program. So SHOP, the acronym is, S is for self. H is for health and happiness. O is for others. And P is for the planet. So when you, if you decide to partake of this program, when you go to shop, you will be having those 4 letters as your bottom line. Is this item something that would make me happy? Would it be good for my health? Would this impact the health and happiness of others in a negative way? And how would it affect the planet? So that is my recommendation for people, is that if and when you decide to go out and be a shopper, that you do it with that kind of acronym. So let me tell you what happened to me. I am wearing my first shop items. I thought this idea up when I was in Boston, and I happened to go the next day to a place called Rosie's Place. And Rosie is a center for women. It's the first center in Boston for poor and homeless women. And this pin and my barrettes were made at Rosie's Place. They make me happy. They made the people at Rosie's happy because all the money goes to them. They're made from recycled materials or old buttons, and so they are recycled. And I'm finding shopping just wonderful now. And I'm going to Guatemala for 2 weeks to stimulate the economy.